Heaven is not silent anymore. The Lord, in his infinite mercy, has stirred the heavens and summoned his warrior, Archangel Michael, to speak not to the masses, but directly to you, chosen one. This moment is not casual, it is sacred. And what you're about to hear is not ordinary advice, but a divine unveiling for your protection. This is not meant to stir panic, it is meant to establish peace. A shift is happening within the walls of your very home. The Lord declares, every corner, every breath, every quiet space in your dwelling has been carrying something unseen. But now is the hour of revealing. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. With flame in hand, he has walked your hallways. He has stood watch over your threshold. And why? Because heaven has noticed something, someone trying to remain hidden in plain sight. A woman cloaked in false affection, with words sweet but intentions twisted, is being brought into the light. The time for exposure has come, and hear this clearly. Heaven exposes to protect, not to destroy. Have you not felt it? The restlessness that visits you at night, the strange weight in the air, the sense that something unseen is being stirred. This isn't your imagination, it's spiritual truth breaking through the veil. What you sensed was not weakness, it was discernment. God is speaking clearly now. I have seen it all, and I will not allow deception to live where my presence dwells. What was done in darkness will be shouted in light. Luke 12:3. What she tried to cover, I will uncover. Her own lips will betray her. Her mask will fall, and you, chosen one, will see with clarity what you were never meant to overlook. But this is not just about judgment, it's about restoration. The Lord is not only exposing, he is cleansing. He is reclaiming the atmosphere of your home. Where anxiety once lingered, peace will be planted. Where confusion once crept, clarity will reign. And where manipulation tried to twist your spirit, truth will set you free. John 8:32. Now, as you step forward into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Amen in the comments below as a sign of your acceptance, as a bold statement that you are ready to step into your God-given purpose. And stay with me until the very end, because we'll be closing with a powerful prayer to seal what heaven has already begun. Heaven is moving. Are you listening? The heavens have drawn their sword, and the one who commands the armies of light has set his gaze on your household. The time of silence has passed. What once whispered in the shadows will now speak in the open. Not with confusion, not with fear, but with truth, clarity, and the power of deliverance. The archangel stands not just nearby, but within the very bounds of your dwelling. His sword burns, not with wrath, but with purpose. His wings are not distant, they are spread wide, casting a covering over your home like a heavenly shield. He does not speak in riddles. He says, what was hidden will not remain. What was cloaked in kindness but rooted in deception must now face the light. A woman once smiled while planting seeds in secret. She walked with careful steps, weaving her way through trust, cloaked in false intention. She believed the mask would protect her, but no mask can endure the gaze of God. No intention, no manipulation, no private plan can stand when the Lord decides it is time to uncover. And that time is now. The Holy Spirit has been stirring your heart for weeks, perhaps even months. The unease, the strange tension in the air, the nights where sleep felt shallow and peace seemed to slip through your fingers. Those weren't just emotions, they were alerts from heaven. They were early warnings from a God who never leaves his children unaware. Call to me and I will answer you and show you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. You were not imagining it. The walls felt different for a reason. The silence had weight for a reason. Heaven was watching. And heaven is still watching now. But not in judgment, in justice. The woman who believed she could plant disruption in private will soon be met by the consequences of divine exposure, not by the hand of man, but by the command of the Lord. Her words will betray her, her actions will unwind, and she will stumble in the very space she believed she had mastered. But let this be known, this is not a moment of chaos, it is a moment of release. Just as the Lord delivered the Israelites from Egypt, not with gentle whispers, but with signs, wonders, and undeniable force, He is delivering your household. Not because of wrath, but because of love. Not to embarrass anyone, but to restore what belongs to you. Freedom will follow. Peace will return. Joy will find its way back into rooms where laughter had gone quiet. The word says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43:19. And indeed, something new is taking root in your home. Heaven has drawn a line. No more false peace. No more confusion in conversation. No more wondering if your discernment is faulty. God is not only removing what is false, He is strengthening what is true. Your prayers have not gone unheard. Your questions were not lost in the night. Every tear that fell when no one else saw was counted. And now, in this sacred moment, the Lord says, what was hidden is being revealed not to break you but to free you. Let your spirit remain still. Breathe deep. Because what is unfolding in your life is not ordinary. It is holy. It is fire from the throne. And it will change everything. The house you live in, every hallway, every room, every quiet space is now under divine realignment. Light will enter, shadows will flee, and you will no longer second-guess what your spirit always sensed was true. This is the mercy of God, not only to reveal, but to restore, not only to expose, but to bless. And when it is done, when the dust of this unveiling settles, your home will not be empty. It will be filled with peace, with strength, with the presence of the Lord Himself. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. So now, be still. Let the Spirit continue to work. For what's about to unfold will leave no doubt, not in your mind, not in your heart, and not in your home. There is a reason your spirit has stirred in the quiet hours. A reason the silence in your home has felt louder than words. You've walked from room to room and sensed a weight that no conversation could explain. This was not anxiety, it was not imagination. It was the whisper of discernment, heaven's early warning that the unseen was not only real, but shifting. The archangel now stands within the walls of your dwelling, not outside, not distant, here. His presence is not of fear, but of divine purpose. And His words are clear. I have come with fire to clear the air, to burn away what does not belong, to make space for what heaven is about to send. There has been a presence, a person who carried deceit wrapped in familiarity. A woman who moved through your space as though she belonged, hiding intentions behind practiced smiles, planting unrest where peace once lived. But what she did not understand is that this house was marked by God, and where His Spirit rests, no falsehood can take root forever. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. Now, the veil begins to lift, and when it does, do not tremble. This revelation is not meant to shake you into fear, it is meant to shake loose everything that was never meant to stay. Heaven does not expose to shame. Heaven exposes to restore. The air in your home will change. Doors that once felt sealed with resistance will open as though a weight has been lifted. Rooms that once echoed with tension will fill with ease, with breath, with laughter again. And where you once felt like a stranger in your own space, you will feel at home, truly at home. This transformation will not be delayed. It is not a possibility, it is a promise. Even now, the archangel walks unseen through every corner, his wings brushing against the very doors you've stood behind with questions. His sword does not bring fear. It brings separation between truth and lie, between peace and pretense. The woman who thought she could blend into shadows is already being revealed. And when it happens, it will not feel chaotic. It will feel like confirmation. You'll remember every quiet moment of unease, every laugh that felt hollow, every strange heaviness in places that should have held joy. You'll see clearly it was never you being overly sensitive. It was God sharpening your spiritual vision for this very hour. And as this unveiling unfolds, something sacred will begin to rise in its place. Healing. True, lasting healing. Not just of the house, but of the heart. You will see how heaven has always been 2 steps ahead. That what felt like delay was divine preparation. That God was not slow in answering your prayers. He was clearing the ground so that nothing would stand in the way when your blessing finally arrived. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Psalm 126:5. And joy is coming. Not just a moment of relief, but the kind of joy that rebuilds foundations. The kind of peace that wraps around your nights and greets you in the morning light. The kind of restoration that makes you say, God remembered me. This is the divine exchange. Sorrow for laughter, confusion for clarity, heaviness for hope. The archangel declares, even as you listen, I am cutting through every remaining thread of deception. Not one corner will be left untouched. Not one false word will remain standing. The house you live in is being made holy again, set apart, not just for you to dwell in, but for God's presence to rest upon. You may not see the sword, but you will feel its work. A weight will lift, a peace will fall, and the shift will be undeniable. The woman who once moved freely will stumble over her own steps, not because of your anger, but because of heaven's justice. The Lord is not finished until what he has promised is fully established. And this exposure is not the end of the story. It is the opening of a new one. You will walk through your home again, not questioning, but knowing. And your soul will echo the truth. Surely the Lord was in this place, and I was not alone. Genesis 28:16. Your testimony is not being written in ink, it is being written in light. And when you tell it because you will, it will not just mark your deliverance, it will ignite faith in those who hear you. It will turn your house into a signpost for others who wonder if God still speaks, still sees, still saves. He does, he has, and he will, starting with you. Heaven's voice has not gone quiet, the flame has not dimmed. And this moment, this very one, is the collision of confirmation, promise, and power. The release that comes now will not only shift your house, it will shift your destiny. Let it unfold. The house you dwell in has carried both weight and wonder, layers of tension hidden beneath familiar routines, a pressure that clung quietly to the walls, even in the calm. But now, heaven speaks with clarity, and the archangel, assigned to you, Michael, guardian of the righteous, has drawn near with fire, not to consume, but to cleanse. He says, this house was never meant to carry deception. It was meant to hold peace. He has watched closely. He has seen the footsteps of one who entered not to bless, but to manipulate. A woman whose smile concealed strategy, whose loyalty was only ever an illusion. She believed she could write herself into your story unnoticed, slipping between shadows, weaving threads of false connection where trust should have lived. But the Lord does not leave his beloved blind forever. The time for unveiling has come, not to harm, but to heal, not to destroy, but to make room for what heaven is about to release. Be strong and do not fear, for your God will come. He will come with vengeance, with divine retribution. He will come to save you. Isaiah 35:4. That day is here. The restlessness you felt wasn't weakness. It was warfare. Your heart picked up on what your eyes couldn't see, the prayers you whispered when no one else knew, the nights you lay awake, wondering why peace had grown so quiet. All of it was seen. All of it was heard. And now, the Lord answers, Michael declares, every hidden motive, every dark thread, stitched in secret, is being severed by heaven's decree. You are not standing in confusion, you are standing at the edge of divine clarity. She who hid behind charm will not remain unseen. The false voice will falter, the silence will break, and in its place will rise the kind of peace that makes your soul exhale after a long night. That is the promise of the Lord. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. Isaiah 61:7. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a house reborn. The air will shift, the rooms will breathe again. The space that once echoed with uncertainty will carry the sound of joy restored. And you, beloved, will walk in your home differently. You will no longer tiptoe around tension. You will stand tall in authority, knowing that heaven has re-established what was once under siege. This restoration is not symbolic. It is literal, physical, emotional, spiritual. The atmosphere of your home is being transformed from glory to glory. As it is written, 2 Corinthians 3:18, and just as the cloud lifted from the tabernacle when it was time for Israel to move forward, so now the heaviness lifts from your household, signaling that breakthrough is not coming. It has arrived. Michael speaks with fire in his voice, but peace in his hands. He reminds you, the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. He will guard your coming and your going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121:5-8. He has guarded you. Through every restless night, through every moment of doubt, through every conversation that left you wondering, what is happening beneath the surface? And now, you will see it. The woman who walked in pretense will stumble not by your hand, but by her own words, her own weight. The truth will rise, the mask will fall. But you, chosen one, will rise even higher, not in pride, but in peace. Your house will not just recover, it will overflow. The threshing floors shall be full of grain. The vats shall overflow with wine and oil. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. Joel 2:24-25. This is heaven's decree over your life. The restoration will be greater than what was taken, and the very place where deception tried to linger will become a sanctuary, a resting place for joy, worship, and miracles. Michael has not stopped circling your home. Even now, he moves from room to room, removing every last remnant of falsehood. And with each step, the Spirit of God draws nearer, preparing your dwelling to carry not just peace, but presence. This is holy ground, and as the exposure unfolds, it will not shatter you. It will strengthen you. The questions that once filled your heart will give way to certainty. The confusion will dissolve, and in its place will come a stillness that can only be explained by one thing. God has remembered you. He has answered your prayers, not in fragments, but in fullness. Soon, you will say with your own lips, "The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes." Psalm 118:23. Your house, this very house, will be marked as a testimony that the living God still speaks, still defends, still delivers his chosen ones. The woman will be exposed, yes, but more importantly, you will be restored. The heaviness will lift, the silence will sing, and your story will shine like a light to others still trapped in shadows. Let it happen. Let heaven finish what it started. The pressure is turning to peace, the exposure is becoming elevation, and your home will never be the same. Listen closely now. Not with your ears alone, but with your spirit wide open. The place you dwell in this home, where you've laughed, prayed, questioned, and wept, has not gone unnoticed. It has not been overlooked by heaven. While others passed by unaware, the eyes of the Lord have remained fixed upon it. Archangel Michael has walked these hallways not as a guest, but as a guardian. He has stood silently in the shadows that tried to linger. He has positioned himself at the threshold of every door, shielding what is sacred from what is false. This house was never abandoned. Heaven knew what your heart could not name. The weight you felt in the night, the stillness that carried unease, the prayers you whispered when no one else was awake, these were not empty emotions. They were signals, divine alerts. Your soul was responding to something real, something veiled. And now, God says, I have not allowed you to miss this moment. I brought you here not to burden you with fear, but to open your eyes. The truth you have sensed is about to rise like morning light, undeniable, unshakable, unstoppable. The woman whose intentions were cloaked in kindness, whose presence carried quiet deception, is nearing the end of her disguise. Her steps are growing loud beneath the weight of truth. The mask she wore so well is beginning to crack, and heaven has already stamped the hour of her exposure. Nothing can delay what has already been ordered in the courts of God. But listen, this unveiling is not about shame. It is about rescue. It is about healing. It is about justice breaking through the veil of silence. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. Deuteronomy 20:4. This is not merely the removal of deception, it is the release of joy, the restoration of what was lost. When the lies fall, peace will no longer be a guest in your house, it will take up residence. What once felt uncertain will become your surest ground. And where confusion reigned, clarity will now command. Michael says, I have already struck my sword into the soil of your home. I have severed the unseen threads. The chains you could not name are broken. The shadows have been scattered. And now your house is being prepared to carry glory, not grief. God is not just revealing what's wrong, He is making room for what is right. Can you feel it already? The atmosphere shifting, not loud, but steady, not chaotic, but holy. You are not being shaken apart, you are being rebuilt. Your walls are being realigned to hold joy without interruption, to welcome rest without resistance. And what was taken from you, laughter, security, calm, it is not only being returned, but multiplied. Just as Job's latter days were more blessed than his beginning, Job 42:12, so shall it be with you. What looked like loss will be revealed as preparation for abundance. What felt like abandonment will shine as proof that heaven was working in silence. There is a divine wind moving now, brushing through the very air in your home, making way for something new. Your house is becoming a sanctuary again, a place where the presence of God lingers, a place where angels stand watch, a place where your spirit can finally rest without needing to question what's hiding behind the silence. Archangel Michael declares, even now, my wings are stretched over this place. My sword is lit with the fire of heaven. There is no lie that can escape this light. There is no false step that can remain hidden. The one who thought she could weave deception into your story is already standing under judgment, not from you, but from the Lord who defends you. And hear this, you were never alone in your discernment. Those uneasy nights were never yours to carry without help. You were not weak, you were not paranoid, you were spiritually awake in a place that was growing too quiet for truth to breathe. But now, the veil lifts. What has been done in the dark is coming into the light, not to hurt you, but to free you. This is the turning. This is the moment when restlessness becomes rest, when uncertainty gives way to unwavering peace. The Lord is doing what only He can, turning deception into deliverance. The very home where laughter once faded will now echo with renewed joy. The same floor where you questioned your own instincts will become a stage for celebration. And you will say, truly, the Lord remembered me. Truly, the Lord restored my house. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not stuck in someone else's storm. You are standing in the exact center of a divine shift, a holy realignment that God Himself has initiated. I have placed my words in your mouth and covered you with the shadow of my hand, says the Lord in Isaiah 51:16. I have set you apart, and I will plant the heavens and lay the foundations in your life anew. The testimony rising out of your house will not be whispered, it will be undeniable. And not only will your peace return, but so will your confidence, your laughter, your voice. This is not a message to entertain. This is not a word to pass by. This is heaven rewriting the atmosphere of your home and marking it as holy ground. The woman who once thought she could walk hidden is being removed. Her secrets are unraveling. But you, beloved, are being lifted, covered, protected, and prepared. What's coming next will not be just another chapter. It will be the beginning of the story you always knew was possible, the one filled with calm mornings, safe evenings, and joy that doesn't vanish. The place you live will no longer carry the residue of unrest. It will carry the fragrance of presence. And the days ahead will reveal not what was lost, but what God was preserving all along: your peace, your promise, your purpose. Heaven has not overlooked you. It has surrounded you. And now, at long last, the fire of justice and the rain of mercy meet on the ground beneath your feet. There is a sound rising in the spirit. It is not chaos, it is the steady voice of heaven, piercing through layers of confusion, cutting through the fog that once clouded your home. And, standing at the center of that voice, is Archangel Michael, his presence ablaze, his word like a flame upon the wind. He says, "Remain, listen, believe." This is not just a moment. This is a divine shift. Not the kind we wish for in desperation, but the kind that only God can orchestrate when He's decided that the time has come. The battle over your household is reaching its appointed conclusion. The shadow that lingered is being expelled. The silence that suffocated peace is being broken by the voice of truth. Michael declares, "Child, I have circled your home. I have walked the perimeters of your peace. I have stood guard through your longest nights. Every hidden step has been measured, every whispered intention recorded. The one who came with false motives, the woman who cloaked herself in trust while planting seeds of deceit, has arrived at her unveiling. Her mask is not just slipping, it is shattering, and her presence will no longer corrupt the atmosphere heaven has claimed as yours. Do not treat this as loss. This is not destruction. This is divine rescue. For far too long, you have carried questions no one could answer. You've wondered why your joy faded too quickly, why rest never stayed long, why clarity seemed to flicker like a candle in the wind. But God saw, and He did not look away. He says, "Enough. My child's peace shall not be stolen. My child's house will not be disturbed. I have sent my angel not to observe, but to act." And Michael answers, "I am here. I have struck the earth. I have cut the cords of confusion. I have driven out every spirit that sought to remain hidden." Let your heart grasp this. The prayers you spoke when no one else was listening were not whispered into empty air. Heaven heard. Heaven moved. You asked for peace, and peace is now walking toward you like morning after the storm. This exposure is not the end. It is the turning of a page. The movement from silence into song, from shadows into light. What once weighed you down is being peeled away, and what follows will not merely restore it, will elevate. Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again. Psalm 71:20. Your home is about to breathe differently. The very air will carry a new stillness, not of emptiness, but of holiness. Where rest once slipped away, it will now return like a friend who never leaves. And the joy that felt lost, it will rise again with a strength that cannot be taken from you. Michael speaks. Child, what is being revealed is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal that you were always held. After this unveiling, your house will not look the same, feel the same, or sound the same. It will shine, It will sing. It will carry the fragrance of peace. You see, the miracle you've waited for isn't arriving from afar. It is already within your walls, waiting for the false to fall, so that the true may flourish. This is not just a moment of exposure, it is a moment of fulfillment. The end of falsehood is the beginning of promise. The woman who operated in secrecy will be silenced by her own unraveling. Her deception will collapse, not by force, but by light. And when that happens, you will see what heaven always knew. Your spirit will sigh in relief. I wasn't imagining it. I wasn't wrong to feel what I felt. God was showing me the truth, even when I didn't yet understand it. This is the seal upon the chapter. Your home is no longer a battleground. It is becoming holy ground. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. Psalm 28:7. Your home will be known not by the tension it once held, but by the peace it now protects. The laughter you thought was gone will return with fullness. The joy that once flickered will shine steady. And the testimony being written within your walls will not be a quiet one, it will carry weight. Others will hear of it and believe again that heaven does not overlook the cries of its children. Michael